Man, that's good. What is up, guys? It's Martin Shred here. Today I got for you guys a very special video, and that is regarding the decision of whether going to college or university or not. So stay tuned for that. A good starting point would be to actually ask your parents or someone from your family that has actually attended college or university, and preferably one that you're interested in attending as well. But what might happen in this case, and this is what happened to me, the advice that I was given was actually advice that was adequate for a reality that does not take place anymore, that does not exist, that exists only in their minds. And what this will result in is that actually you will come to find that when you get to that course, that was actually something completely different than what you were expecting. Try to get in touch with people that are actually taking the course right now and ask them about the assignments they have to make, ask them about the exams they have to pass on, and their duties, their everyday to day lives, what they have to do every day in order to actually survive that course and proceed to the job market in that particular field of work. And even better, try to find people that have actually taken that course and are actually working in that field of studies, which, as you probably know, does not always happen. And even before all that, something that you should also consider is the option of not going to college at all. And what do I mean by this? Nowadays, I see a lot of demand for jobs that do not require necessarily a degree, jobs that actually end up paying very well in the short term and might actually enable you to maybe create your own companies out of it, and it will lead to a lot less student debt, and you will end up being able to actually build something out of yourself sooner in life. Let's say, for example, you have a knack for painting or for making things with your own hands. Let's say carpentry, for example. There's a huge demand for carpenters right now, either if it's fixing something in public houses or just making furniture, repairing furniture. You know, some of those old vintage stuff. There's a lot of demand for that, and there's not a lot of people actually doing it, and most of the people doing it don't do it very well. So if that's something that interested you, for example, something that has to do with construction work, something with maybe even plumbing, painting, welding, carpentry, you know, those types of things that are gonna be always in demand and are always gonna be useful. But since nowadays people are only focused on the digital and actually trying to become their best in something that they are not their best or may not even be whatsoever, because that's not in your nature. Because what you should pursue is what you feel like your nature would be more fulfilled, so to say. All of us have something that we are going to perform best in right off the bat, and something that we can improve a lot and even faster in regards to what we actually talking about, and instead of trying to learn something from scratch that we know intrinsically we know that we are not good at, and trying to get good at that. No matter how good you will get at that specific activity, you would get a lot better if it was something that it was intrinsically made for you to do. And so that is something that you should consider, guys. Explore your possibilities, experiment. Know if you're actually good with your hands. Know if you're handy with carpentry, with woodwork, with painting, with pretty much anything. There's so much that you can do that does not involve a huge debt, going to college, and maybe pursue a useless degree, who knows. Also, guys, another thing that I forgot to mention, and I know that I changed shirts, but I had to talk about this. Why it might not be for everyone to actually go through with this career path. For example, if you're like me and you're actually in college as engineering, for example, most engineering schools actually focus on you being on route to be a researcher and not necessarily a member of the workforce, so to speak, or in essence being a member of an actual company, because all the courses are usually more directed into a more theoretical approach, and they're aimed at making you a researcher in order to be a scientist. Not that there is anything wrong with that, of course. If you want to do it, you must do it. I know a lot of people who are interested in this field of work, but I am not. So I mean, those of us, which is the vast majority, always end up in company jobs, but that does not mean necessarily that what they were learning was necessarily useful to them. And so what eventually happens is that all these years that you spent of your life actually studying some of the things actually just ended up making you lose some money and sometimes even make you lose some time. So why not take advantage of that time and actually pursue something that you might be interested in? Who knows, maybe it might be in a field that you're not completely aware of. So you just gotta try it out for yourself. And yeah, that's pretty much the best way. And finally, if you really end up deciding to go, be sure what you're getting into. If you're going out of state, for example, you're going to be out of your parents' house, you're going to be living by yourself after so many years living with them, just make sure that that transition is as smooth as possible. It might be tempting, for example, to stay at home all day, just lazy around pretty much the whole day and not actually taking action towards setting your baseline livelihood there, actually constructing your friend circle in that place where you're going. And the sooner you do this, the sooner you will feel at home. So the key here will be taking action as soon as possible. Try to make friends at the beginning, try to connect with them, people from your course, people from other courses, people that are actually not in university but live in that area. The sooner you establish this baseline, the sooner you will be living an easier life in that regard. And who knows, maybe those people can influence you to achieve your passions, to find out what you're truly passionate about. And so if you do this will be a lot easier for you guys. Trust me. This is something that I started doing quite late in my college path, and so, but ever since that I started doing that, my life has improved tremendously. I have met a lot of people that benefited me and in my life, and I made an effort to make sure that I also benefit their lives. But it actually made the night and day difference in my college career, so to speak. And so the key again, and I repeat, the key will be taking action. Be the one that actually introduces themselves to the other person. Be polite to others, ask them questions, try to provide value to them, not just asking questions for the sake of asking and trying to extract information from them. Actually try and provide value, make a difference in the other people's lives. And since we are at it, make it a habit of doing that. We are so glued to our smartphones today that we might not even be able to talk to the person at the register when we are going to the supermarket, or even talk to the person that's behind us or in front of us in line, or even just say good morning, good afternoon, and good night to the people that walk by us in the sidewalk. And like, we have to counteract that, because when you get into that kind of state of mind, you end up actually being a better person towards others and towards yourself. But I will leave that for another video, otherwise this will be too long. But again, I emphasize, guys, if you're going to do that, it will be a lot easier for you to take your course and to go through it if you actually take action. Be the one starting the interactions. Search, join clubs, search what other people are looking on campus, off campus, in their free time, or when they're studying. Go study with them, help them with their studies, they will help with yours, and make study groups. Take action, it will be a huge difference. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope this video was not too ranty when I was talking about all of that college stuff. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you feel like this provided some value, some content, some valuable content to you, be sure to subscribe and also comment down below on your experiences and any advice can you give us and any other person that watches this video that might be useful to them in their journey towards a more fulfilling life. And with that said, you will excuse me as I will try and finish my coffee, and since it's gone cold I have to go and heat it up again. So be sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys on my next video.